All right, here we go again. Rough roads ahead. We're going to try to smooth some of those rough roads here. So again, just so you know, I am responsible for a lot of these boats because I keep making noise about buying boats. So I'm responsible to notice something that I just noticed. I go back with these border boats back to like 2008. Everything like started back then. I was on the governor's website and suggesting that he increase the size of his navy. Right. They called it the Texas Navy. And there actually was and is a Texas Navy. They actually have some other stuff too. Right. So I noticed that there's nothing to hide behind. I'm like, holy Christ! I can't believe you're all out there like that. So again, maybe buying new boats is like Texas. They don't got to worry. You know, they got big tax base. They can buy boats. But again, that boat that they bought, they could just put some ballistic panels on there, something you can put on and take off. You know, because you don't want to, mount it permanent and then have a need to take it off for some reason. There might have to be some welding. I'm not sure. They have to look at each case scenario. I don't know about the airboats, what you want to do. Ballistic panels are expensive too, so you have to, 6 of one, half dozen the other, try to figure it out. But most of your boats have nothing to hide behind. And that's not going to work. Right. So that's Border Patrol and Texas. I don't think Texas has as many. But, well, at this point, if the idea is to shoot at Border Patrol people, you need to have something to hide behind. Even if you just take a flat piece of ballistic panel and mount it, make a mount behind it. Again, sometimes you want to put some metal behind that. So I don't know, weight wise and all that, and how that's all going to work, and what boat you want to put it on. But the officers need something to hide behind if it gets real. Yeah, and for a fight, for in the middle of a firefight, or even a sniper starts taking pot shots at them. So again, we do have plans for the future, and that could include an incursion into Mexico to go after cartels. I don't know where Trump is on that, and people have to assess that. Hegseth and just everybody has to assess that, National Security Council, and figure out cost benefit analysis. But it's costly. But again, it's costing us even more with all this narcotics and everything else. Right. You got to remember that. Well, we're going to have to secure the United States. You're going to have to secure that river. There's going to be what we see in Times Square, New Year's Eve kind of thing. Not maybe that dramatic and that intricate, but you're going to see that. What you see on the subways, that may happen in the United States. The key is to move these people out. We're moving the future unlawful enemy combatants out if that were to happen. Again, I don't know why I sound like Alex Jones. It's just happening. I'm morphing into Alex Jones. Give me some of your money, Alex. I need money. I'm broke, Alex, not you. I mean, I told you Alex would never be broke. So, they're not going to take it well, and they're not most likely. Again, it could just be like a phase they're going through. So we might see where, in every city in the United States, we have kind of that same presence for a while if we go into this. But what's happening is these people might never go to it, but if we have a 20 Trenta Yega or Orega, whatever they are, in Colorado, they could easily, if the cartels put the word out. Again, they all could form alliances, saying the shit hit the fan, we need to form alliances and whatever it is. So again, there's a lot of option based upon who's here in the United States. There's a lot of option for cartels to hire people and make alliances. We need to get the future possible unlawful enemy combatants out of here, and it'll make it a little safer to do that mission down in Mexico. Anywhere else we need to do it. So that's a good thing. Get them out of here, and then it will be a little safer in our cities, especially if something like that comes up. We got to counter every contingency. You got to have a contingency plan, so we got to counter for every contingency. We're not here to play games. This is major operations beyond what we even have in a lot of our military operations, because we're talking about the homeland and we're talking about everyday people, and we have to keep them protected, right, while we do the other thing. But the officers need something to hide behind. I don't even. I wish I never told you to buy airboats. I feel bad. I know you're buying them anyway, but there might be a way to do the airboats too. I don't know. You have to get with some specialists, and again, it might be too expensive. Too probative. Right? I don't know. A lot of Marine unit guys are going to change up now. There, you can be it now. I don't want it anymore. And we don't know. Like, it just could be isolated incidents and stuff like that. But that's an example of what I was saying. They may not take it too well. Again, when they get cornered, I feel like it's the end. Some of those boats, you just probably just do like a solid piece. Maybe find a place to mount it. Long as like two pieces, one on each side, because they got long pieces. I don't know what the height is on them. But again, at a certain point, I don't know what kind of money we're looking at. Bean counter Elon's down our, breathing down our necks. That's our problem. One for Elon, we get buy new boats. Well, maybe we'll just stop building rockets and build boats. Now we need a hard side. I looked at Schwick. Schwick, you can talk to the military about Schwick, but they look like they're taken. I tried to find. Somebody said that some of the National Guard had something, but I know they have bridge boats and stuff, so I don't know. Maybe they're talking about maybe Naval Reserve or something. Right. Yeah, Marines might have some stuff too. Like some of the Marine Force Recon probably has something, right? Or maybe they just rely on Schwick. I don't know. Force Recon, a boat patrol. Here we go. There is such a thing, but I don't know what they're using equipment. Well, it maybe it may not be hard sided. I don't know. No, they got the other things. Oh wait, looks like they got something there. So what is it? Oh yeah, it is. It does have small unit riverine craft, U.S. Navy River Squadron 2 patrols the waters. Small unit river. Okay, yeah. So there's stuff sporadically put around the military. Yeah, maybe the military has something, but again, we might be at the point that we need to think about investing at some point. Small unit riverine craft, Cirque is rigid hull, armed and armored patrol boats, safe boats. Yeah, there's safe boat. I know that the Border Patrol has some safe boats. All right. But again, we got a lot of people out there on the river, and we need to start thinking about them when they don't have any protection. But I noticed some of the safe boats look a little scary too. Okay, there, that would work. That's like ocean boat or something. Right. So that's something like Miami or something where you got one of those. Right. So we need to look at riverine stuff. Something maneuverable, not too big, and it's protected, and the officers are protected. I mean, obviously on the airboats, they're way open. Those are kind of our transport boats. You know, I guess they save a lot of immigrants also, or help save the immigrants, the other boats too. So we just need to figure out what to do because really, and again, they may be so scared that they never return to that area for a while. So there's several things to do. What I said about earlier was if you move your boats from one location to that location, so we need spare boats to fill in. What they'll do is they'll realize that they can get you to do that. And then they'll start maybe manipulating where you put your boats by shooting at you at certain areas. So we need an augmentation patrol, an extra patrol, and not pull patrol from another area. So again, they all have to sit down. Everybody has to sit down, Mike Banks and whoever in whatever units. And we've got to figure out what the new strategy is. New equipment's important, really, but I don't know if that's coming along. Well, we have a lot of wide open boats and people on the water just wide open. Actually, it just showed me something. It didn't look good. Let me see if I can get back to it. Maybe the officer just died. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to it. There's like a memorial post, just as I said that. Dear Diary. Maybe the officer died up north. Yeah, I could get back to that page. So that might be an indication of why that thoughts hit us. Well, I told you to buy boats with airboats, and now I feel weird because you're not protected, and there's command to shoot you. Now I don't know if that's real. Again, intelligence comes in, and sometimes it's bullshit, sometimes it's real, sometimes it's just some drunk guy on the other side of the border, and then it filtered up, into our intelligence. Right. So again, I don't know the reality of it. There's supposedly an order to shoot at Border Patrol. I mean, that would be a logical response to what we're doing. Right. But see, that's part of why I'm saying do the other stuff. We have to increase our level to a point that they think it's fruitless. Again, psychology, civil affairs. Right. Thank you, Larry. But again, if they think it's fruitless, they may move up again. But that's the way the game works. You just keep moving up till you outfox them. So I don't necessarily buy into the hype when I read it in a news article, because it could just be a bunch of guys getting drunk in some bar somewhere, and then it filters into the because got informants that hear it. DEA gets the gets the informant's information and then passes it on to CBP or whatever. So, I mean, just because, again, if it was in another area, I'd say, yeah, but that area, that's where the shootings take place. That's one of the areas where the shootings take place. Right. So it's really no indication of whether they're actually increasing that posture. But again, we have to, because we have so many people we need to protect, we need to say, yes, we need to consider something happening. Right? Yeah, hopefully they do a after action review. I'd like to see how the shooting went down, right? Like how they initiate it and when did they initiate it to see what it was, right? Again, I'm here trying to think. This is what I do. This is what I've done like for 20 years. I walk. My mother thinks was thought I was crazy, but I'm like, she didn't realize that I'm thinking through things, and that people can pick up my vibration and all that stuff. And also, it reveals things. I get to if the longer I do this, the more I get revealed, more gets real. So again, I got to the point where I said, well, maybe we need ballistic panels. And again, that could be pricey, and the question is, does it pay to revamp a boat or just get a new boat? Again, we need money. Hang on. Whoa. That was a drip. I turned the heat up too high, probably. So, Texas doesn't need money, probably. We need money. Well, when that happens, you make it riskier for them to do their business. So you increase that patrol, but you don't want to take patrol from somewhere else because they'll laugh at you and say, they moved. We got them to move, So again, they could start playing that game. So you need augmentation patrol. You need spare boats that you're going to move in for that type of thing. Well, it's really unsafe for officers right now to patrol in airboats until they know the reality of that that piece of intelligence where somebody has ordered the cartel to fire on Border Patrol. Again, they're not too smart, so they'll get themselves in trouble. That's what I'm trying to avoid. As we increase our posture, including maybe a couple missions into Central America and maybe other places, I just don't want them to get too stupid, too fast. See if we can back them down, right? Because like I said, next thing you know, you'll be rolling tanks into Mexico. Thank you, Larry. I mean, we have to do something. We can't just sit here and let them do this to our country. I mean, these people they're sick. People are being made sick with narcotics. I mean, young girls dying. I'm picking up where I was in Santa Fe. I don't know. I fell. They put me to sleep. Right. They may have drugged me. Really. Right. I think they did. But when and where, I can't tell you. Except for the times that I do know. I mean, got 14-year-old girls dying of narcotics overdose. I mean, come on. Right. That's from New Mexico. Right. Supported that one family. I mean, just living in Santa Fe could give you PTSD where I was living, but that one did it. It wasn't what did it. They were psychologically torturing me. I don't know who the people are. You should know. They should be found out. I'm sure some were government. I mean, even the way the Texas boat is constructed, the way it is, it's not right. Right? The officers are it's wide open right there. There's no cupola or anything, or even a shielding, as far as I can see. So we need to figure it out. you got to assess the level or the credibility of that level of threat increasing. You can't disappear from the patrols either, because then that would encourage them to do it. But you don't want to put people out if it's risky. Again, money's the issue at this point. If we hadn't spent all the money on that bullshit, we could just go out and buy boats and not even think twice about it, right? Because it's national emergency, you'd be allowed to do it. But again, the national inventory might have something. Somebody might have something somewhere that we can use. Coast Guard might have something. So again, call up the Coast Guard, see if they can lend us anything. That's hard. It's hard-sided. That will fit the mission and protect the officers. If we were buying standard boats, because I know there's kits, they got kits that you can add additional ballistic panels, but I don't think we have that on the Rio Grande. Now, the safe boats, I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're out there or not. Well, if we all bought the same thing, we could, the government could have that in stock somewhere in storage for times like this. We need boats with ballistic protection. A lot of times there's a kit that you can add to certain models, but I don't think it's going to be for those, the airboats or anything like that. The airboats would be very difficult to protect. They do move rather fast, but if you do stop, and that's when they might do it. And of course, you can move swiftly to cover. But again, this, we got at least 4 years of this, so we need to figure it out. I'm hearing there's something in U.S. inventory that we might be able to borrow or have it get transferred. Right, so the agents need something or the officers need something to patrol in, that they're protected. Again, fighting that's small enough, because we do want a smaller boat. And again, airboats are great, but finding something small enough that has that type of, that's why maybe modification is the only way to do it. But again, I don't know if you can modify an airboat. I'm sure we could do it, but can we mass produce it? Might actually slow down the airboat a little bit. Problem is getting an airboat that's protected. Right. Oh, here's armored airboats. Open TikTok. Drag the slider to fit the puzzle. Oh, shoot. Oh, all right. Open TikTok. Try again. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, I don't have TikTok on there. Oh, they're too big, I think. That's funny, they call it Patriot airboats. Yep. All right, let me see what I got here. So they do make them, but that one looked a little bit big. So it's a one-off thing. Maybe we can make them at the Texas base, right? I told you to build like some sort of thing like that. I think like a place where you can weld stuff, and I think you make sure you build a shop in there. Right. All right, so I don't know what we're looking at. It says Patriot Boats. I can click on that, I guess. May just be like the oh, it's Patriot Airboat Corp. Airboat Corporation. Airboat Corporation. I mean, imagine if they make a big one, they can make small ones. I guess we could make them. Maybe just look at what they did. Steal their design. Actually, maybe it's just one that they built. I don't know. I don't look like you have too many or builds. Yeah, so we just got to find somebody who can. So maybe there is a way to do it. I was afraid of like cutting off the air from the cabin. Jeez. This one's got a little cabin on it. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was saying. Maybe I'm connected to them. I don't know. Okay, here's the cabin. What is the cabin? Water chesting days are best. Yeah, this little cabin would probably work. I'm not sure what it weighs, but this one's not made of ballistic material of any sorts. Right. All right, I'm gonna get back to that part. Armored airboats in Nigeria. Hashtag Texas. Cute, dude. What's Nigeria? Texas. It says armored. It's Patriot airboats. Armored airboats in Nigeria. Hashtag Texas. Oh, are these people in Texas? You might be.
On the front, bulletproof windows, sliding
All right,
doors.
they got them there.
It's going to be a major asset for them here in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Is that a boat or an airboat? All right, I think Patriot Airboats in Texas. I don't know how much it costs for them to do their stuff. They may be able to help you with on the cheap modification. Again, you may have in-house people that can figure it out. Okay, it's an armored boat. Oh, it's an armored airboat. Yeah, there's some armored airboat, but again, you have smaller airboats. All you need is a small cabin that has some ballistic protection. Right. Patrol boat, landing craft, airboat. What is this place? Strait Marine. United Arab Emirates. Call Raquez in United Arab Emirates. That's getting into that mercenary stuff, right? So let me look. Patriot Airboats. I'm going to share their page. Yeah, they're in Vidor, Texas. Where's that? What's it near? I guess near Louisiana. Baytown, Pasadena. There's Houston. Yeah, it's over toward Louisiana. It's near Lake Charles, kind of right off the highway. Well, these are the people that build these things for whoever for Nigeria right now. Maybe the people to call and ask. Yeah, the word "call" just lit up when I said that. But these would be the people to call to get some ideas and what things cost and what can be done. And they'll know what you just tell them what airboat you have, and you're just looking to protect a couple officers, Right. They're probably one of the few people that could tell you because they're building it from scratch. It looks like, or from what they're adding to what they have, and then builds contact. Let me just. They have built armored airboats. Why isn't that working? I got my. All right. Have built armored airboats. I would call them for suggestions and maybe estimations on pricing. He's trying to kill me before I finish all this. Again, you may have in-house people. I don't know. I guess I know these people, huh? Let me see. About. We're there about. About. It's about. I don't know if Abbott has any. I think they use airboats. He could actually help you with anything. Why you said that? Was that me? Send me money now that says now. This is the part they don't pay attention to, right? Use all my stuff and then don't send me the money. I gotta give that to Mike. What's his name? They have to call this guy and see what he can do for their airboats, or if they have a suggestion, you might be able to do something in house. Or maybe they could send you to somebody who can send you prefab stuff. Look, they're in here. I'm actually Mike Banks. They're trying to say they're Mike Banks. Probably some cop from Santa Fe or somebody from New Mexico State. All right, to find Mike Banks' page, you gotta put Chief in, and then it comes up. You write you do Mike Banks, and his other page comes up. Naked. Maybe you know somebody too. I don't know. But this Patriot Airboat sounds like the right people, right? Now they have, if you look up armored airboat, you'll find their stuff. They got something they built for Nigeria. Looked pretty cool. I think it's going to be an airboat. Yeah, it didn't have the engine in, I don't think, or anything like that. Yeah, they're pat. I don't remember where it is. There's a project they built for Nigeria. It looked like to be the right size. Again, you could. I don't think you could modify. I guess you could probably modify your boats for it, but you would buy that airboat if you. Well, their next gen warfighter armored airboat's way too big. Oh, here it is. 6 days ago, actually, they put it up. Isn't that funny? They put the TikTok up 5 days ago or 6 days ago.
We're going to do some assembly on 5 airboats that we just shipped over.
Let's TikTok. Are you all against it or for it? I can't keep track. I guess it's going to be an airboat. Look, right now it looks like a regular boat because
armored. They've got a 50 cal machine gun mount on the front, bulletproof windows, sliding doors.
Maybe it's not going to be an
airboat.
airboat.
It's going to be a major asset for them here in
Nigeria. It's in Nigeria. Guess they're just going to put an engine on it. Then you got this super huge next gen warfighter airboat. I mean, it's really, these would come in handy. Right. That thing's trying to kill me, man. Because I got a lot of pain, so it's trying to combine the two, like the negative inference and the pain. I mean, it's not horrible, but I don't take like anti-inflammatories and stuff because it make you sick. I just yell at people. That's my anti-inflammatory. If I feel pain, I yell at you and I curse you. God likes that part of me. Actually, I don't have to repost it, I guess. All right, so where did I put that there? And then we put this here. I put the 2 videos that I see pertinent. There we go to Chief Mike Banks' page, and you'll see the airboats. We didn't. It's just screwed up because we were working in a certain direction, then everything was killed during COVID. We lost our way. They have this. I don't think this one's an airboat, but they could probably build an airboat like that somehow, or at least So again, the idea is they may not build it for us if you can't afford it and all that, but they can maybe give you some suggestions of what to do with your airboats, or who to go to maybe prefab something.
I'm in Nigeria right now, fixing to do some assembly on.
It's an armored boat. It says armored airboats in Nigeria.
They've got a 50 cal machine gun mount.
I guess it's going to be an airboat.
Bulletproof windows, sliding doors.
That's actually what you need. We need acid on Rio Grande. It's going to be a big acid here in Nigeria. We need a big acid on the Rio Grande. They say he put it up 6 days ago, both of the armored airboat things. That's bizarre, huh? Patriot Airboats 6, J6. That next gen warfighter boat looks pretty nasty. Put that on. You can put that on the Rio Grande. That's 6 days ago too. It says. That's bizarre, huh? Like, I can't breathe and I catch my breath. I keep chasing that same old devil down the same old. He puts U.S. Coast Guard on there, so he's maybe Coast Guard specs. I don't know. Well, the thing is, if we get money, these people will build it cheap for us. If we get enough money to buy a whole bunch, right? If we promise a big contract, they build it cheaper. Right. And this guy, he's Patriot airboat, so if you tell him he's going to help with the Rio Grande and patrolling the Rio Grande, I'm sure he'll give us a good price. That's weird. This is kind of stuff that like Hashem does to say, yeah, this is it. This is the guy you call.
Fixing to do some assembly on 5 airboats that we just shipped over.
Yeah, they're
armored. They've got
they're airboats.
On the front, bulletproof windows, sliding doors.
50 cal mounted on top. Bulletproof windows, sliding doors.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. He'd love to do a project for all you. Right. But again, just touch base and get some ideas from him of what's possible and what the costs would be, or who he would send you to retrofit, or could they retrofit your vehicles or your airboats. Again, these are things we need to think about if we're going to take on the cartels at a higher level. Because they use psychology too, so their thing will tell them that they have to juke you. And maybe that's what that is. Trying to back you down. I mean, they're not too bright when it comes to that part of the whole thing. They'll cut their whole head off to spite their face. Right. So again, we the idea where you try to back them down, you got to be ready to deliver. You can't, because they're not necessarily going to back down. So you got to be ready to deliver the goods. Right. So I don't know if there's funding for the national emergency anywhere. Usually there's funding somewhere, but obviously we need to think about modifying at a minimum the boats on the Rio Grande, Border Patrol boats. Well, maybe that's what we got to do. Slowly start filtering in those airboats. Have them do that Nigerian build, nice and black and all that. That little Nigerian build looks good, right? Or at least have a certain number of those. So, because right now in that section of the Rio Grande, that's what should be patrolling, armored airboats. Right. The other airboats should go somewhere else, or you pull them off to the side. And maybe the time for those kind of airboats is over. I mean, that's obviously presidents don't ride around in convertibles anymore. Be a dead Kennedy. We just have to figure it out. But again, figure it out might be, let's get money, let's buy that type of airboat, whether you buy it from him or someone else. But I think he's the main supplier for that, like a smaller armored airboat. I don't think, and I don't know his, it may take him a year to give you something, so you have to do that too. Find out how long it takes. I don't know how the money works right now because, again, the budget's all funky. All right. Great. But yeah, theoretically, you've saved money by just doing that quick budget. So there might be room to purchase something like that. So we don't have any funding. Oh yeah, what's his name was talking about that one day? Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham was talking about getting funding. Well, at this point, I'd be surprised if you don't need to modify at a minimum your airboats and might need to just start replacing them. Again, I don't know where you could use them, the other ones somewhere else. Send them up to the northern border. Use it on Lake Michigan. Great, sir. Well, I do have responsibility for some of those boats. I kept pushing them. So I don't want somebody killed on one of them boats, or even wounded. Right. So we got to find the money. That's all. And armored airboats make sense. I don't know if you'll be able to, because you've probably been building up your number of airboats for a while. You probably can't replace them all, but now this Hurricane Air Kit boat uses a riverine patrol boat. Let me see that. Yeah, it's still not up protection. Of course, that's an old boat, but Hurricane Air Kit. Right, actually, the Texas PT boat is looking a little skimpy now as they're shooting at us. Now this United Arab Emirates firm, Strite, I guess it's called. That's some serious stuff. That's a little bit too big, I think. But it's interesting, in Texas, on the Louisiana side, there's a guy that 6 days ago started posting armored airboats on TikTok. Thank you much. So again, I think whatever happens, that's the future of the Border Patrol. Whatever, it doesn't have to be that exact model, but I think that's the direction the mine should go. Because, they may pick up an insurgency. I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen. Again, I'm not chickening out and not trying to make you afraid. I'm just trying to get you to prepare. Even like when we eradicate maybe some big, poppy fields and all the other stuff, or whatever it is they're doing down there, they might pick up an insurgency with certain types of covert operations and be very angry at us. Because that's the other part. In the beginning, they'll be easy to hit, and then if they continue on, then they'll go underground, and maybe literally. Again, I think they've already done some of that. They've already been, even in Ecuador and some other places, I think they got some underground labs and stuff. Right. So it was a poor choice of airboat. We never thought this far ahead. Obviously, we couldn't buy as many airboats, but we definitely would have been better to buy the armored airboats back then. I didn't see it until tonight. I mean, because now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, they lived through that. I mean, patrolling in that, right? And again, I think that the point is, again, they're trying to make an incentive for us not to annihilate them. But again, once we start amping it up, and again, we shouldn't stand for what's going on. All that narcotic, no way. Right? All those kids, all those young people, and then you grow into older people that we try to keep off drugs and they're, trank and nah, that stuff's got to stop. We can't leave the planet like this. And all Trump's getting older. We're all getting older. I don't know how long I'm going to live after Deep State did this to me. I mean, my health is not where it's supposed to be. That's for sure. And that was one of their intentions. They're sickos. Well, the idea is we could buy the Riverine patrol boats and stuff, but we want to make sure it has side panels or a side panel kit that's available. I still believe in those smaller airboats. Right. I'm sure you all do too. So I don't know. What kind? Have you already asked for funding specifically for certain items? I guess you would have. Well, Lindsey Graham was saying something about passing funding, and if we don't fund it, there's going to be trouble. Let me see. Lindsey Graham, Trump funding, deportations border. We talk about mass deportation, but we don't have the resources. We can do what we're doing, though. So, again, not having the resources. Okay, right. So, Lindsey Graham's trying to get funding. Right. Homan said $86 billion. Does that include the boats, Homan? Does $86 billion include the airboats, the armored airboat? Again, we have to look at where funding is, or maybe funding hides, and then you got to find it. And then there's, there might be something. I don't think there's airboats out there, but they could be. But there's some boats maybe out there that they could transfer in. Now we can't. I mean, yes, they can, but we got to start thinking about armored airboats. Again, I don't know. You call that guy, he might figure something out on the cheap. I don't know. Just some sort of cabin to fit over where they sit. Right. But it has to be some sort of ballistic protection. So I guess the military police are getting in processed, starting to do some familiarization training. Officer survival. Yeah, you don't want to commit suicide. Be careful what you show them, Now we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know because Trump, it's up in the air as to whether we go into Mexico or not. Right. They still have to do a lot of studies on that, right, and see what the government of Mexico has to say about some of our ideas. But again, we've spent a lot of money on Mexico, and they'll say it's just not worth fighting. But it's the corruption, man. Right? It's the corruption. That's why we couldn't win. There's no doubt. I mean, I was deep looking at all the different units we started up down there. They started up down there, and everything went corrupt. Again, we did kind of indigenous personnel type of stuff. They did that. Building all these different local units. Well, your local unit can't make it on its own. If the main police force or the military goes corrupt, then they're not going to be able to make it. Right. At least he found a point of contact. You just like I'd call him in the morning if I was like one of you, and I'd start asking him questions. He'd probably be tickled to get a call from us, especially since he just put those ones online. Right. And he's in Texas, which makes it even better. Gavin will be calling him. He'll have like state troopers out front in the morning. Well, at least we got somewhere, you know. Yeah, once we hit a certain point, we have to be ready. Again, that's they're so when they start doing the cost benefit analysis and all the studies on what could happen and what should be done before it happens, we have to keep moving. We have to keep increasing the security, making this stuff work. So we'll be ready when it happens. I mean, I don't think the cartel is going to give up. And if they don't give up, we're going to have to do something. I mean, the problem is it's a global problem, and the Mexican government has to understand at a certain point this can become an international thing, where everybody says the government of Mexico has not performed sufficiently in stopping this mess. Right. Well, it could be considered a narco government or, an aiding and abetting narco government. Right. Well, again, we're not looking at owning Mexico. We don't want Mexico. We don't want to be the government of Mexico more than a day. We'll turn it over to someone else. I mean, that's the point. Because at a certain point, this just can't continue. It's almost like lip service to a certain degree. I mean, they're not going to get rid of their billion-dollar industry. Right. So we might need to. I mean, that's been proven. Probably get attacked by the deep state tomorrow for trying to stop the Mexican cartels. And they'll tell me, oh, no, this has nothing to do with drug dealing. We noticed something in his life. That's a bullshit line. Meanwhile, they're all driving new cars, got bigger houses. No, we don't take money. All you gotta do is stop all this. It's that simple. Yeah, they make fake exigent circumstances so they can attack the victim. Exigent circumstance, and he might have a girlfriend and get married because they call it something else. Right. That thing about Kash Patel, even if it's true, it's stupid. Right. Anybody that's been in anything knows how it works. Seat of the pants. Right. It's like nitpicking. He did that. He did that. Right. And you gotta remember, these people are nowhere people. They're all deep state. So they're just trying to make up shit and knock the person they don't want in out because they want to put somebody that's deep state in. Right. That's how it works. That's what they did to me. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Right. I mean, they're all full of shit. Just hope that thumb comes along. It's still healing. I haven't put anything on it, and I haven't taken any Advil or anything since last night, so it should be healing. It was bizarre. It just instantly, it was like, eh. This is it. Eh. So I really do want my money, and God knows I want it, and God's my friend. See, I would pay me if I were you. Just want to get up out of here and get somewhere peaceful. I might move to Texas if you gave me money. Thank you, Larry. That'll be closer in. I wouldn't be by the border. That wouldn't be safe for me. But I'd be somewhere. Thank you, Larry. I'd move to what's that place that Elon's building? I'd be like the sole. I'd be the first non SpaceX resident. You know, I'd see me walking, broadcasting all day. Elon knows me. He knows it. Right. Hopefully he gets well. We'd hate to have Mossad kill him. Well, you're big, Elon. You'd be dangerous if you were really a Nazi. My brother tried to stick up for you. He said he thinks it's about Sam Altman. He thinks it's all about Sam Altman, I guess his name is. So I don't know. He looked kind of freaked out. I mean, he had a look on his face like, you know, Decadurabolin and methamphetamines, like the Nazis used. He's ready to throw a few people into the oven. It's called glitching. I don't know. That's kind of I think that's a PSYOP term they just created to protect Elon. My brother said it was all about Sam Altman. If that's his name. I don't know these people. Would have known him if they didn't destroy my life. I probably got somewhere. Would have probably finished my learning of code. All right. Thank you, Mary. Oh, if I was Eli, I wouldn't go near it again. There are people watching that, right? Now, Mossad's probably watching it. I mean, they have to. And whether your buddy's Netanyahu or not, we have to. Like, Netanyahu smile at you while you're a Nazi and then have Mossad kill you. Like I'll tell you, ADL, they don't want to say Elon's a Nazi and then have Mossad kill him and then it's on them, So they're just gonna, oh no, it's okay, that's okay. Don't worry, we're not involved. See, that's psyop what I just did. That's what they do to me my whole life. This is what they do because you can't figure out what's real and what's not right? Because now you don't know what's real, right? Right. Thank you, Larry. Of course, I don't have money, so it's a lot different when it happens to me. And of course, they forced me to go alone. Thanks, Larry. No, he just needs to get well. I think that's where we are. You shouldn't go near that stuff. Again, there is some stuff going on in Germany, which is of concern. Right. I'm sure Shin Bet has some people embedded. Be careful who you talk to over there, Elon, because they'll put people in there and they'll play the part. Right. We have to have somebody to like mess it up for them if it gets too far into Nazism. Right. They got about 3 or 4 people in that right-wing German party that are either Mossad or Shin Bet or they work for them. Now you don't know if they do or I just instructed them to do it, right? Well, quit playing around, all of you. Just fix my life and I'll stop. There, my microphone came out. But so, okay, Trump needs to be briefed about things in a timely manner. And again, I know he's headstrong, so I'm not thinking that he's going to listen to anybody anyway. But you need that talking point team that initiates the talking points almost immediately on some sort of dire issue. Again, and I don't know if you know what's going on with that bishop, right, and what her thing was. But in law enforcement, we always run into people like that. And essentially, they just don't know any better. That's really what it comes down to. So the idea is you know better, you're doing it because of something. And the reality is to understand that you're actually helping immigrants. You're cleaning up their communities. Right? They don't have to live in fear, but yet some might get deported, and that's just part of that thing. Again, they were deported under Biden to a certain degree, but maybe not at the level they needed to be. So, and there should be a social media team. Again, Christy Noem's doing pretty good. She got her stuff out there, right? Mike Banks, he gets his stuff out there. I guess it's Hegseth, Department of Defense is doing it. And then Hegseth put some stuff on his page. So you got to get Hegseth's official page up. The question is whether you want to centralize and professionalize the operation. Again, Department of Defense might do Hegseth stuff, might have somebody who's professional. There's a media guru that does it. I don't know. Right. Again, you might want to have some personal stuff, on there. I don't, you put your personal touch on it. So I don't have the complete answer for that, but you might want to have some administration teams for social media put together and kind of help your nominees and your secretaries and directors with kind of a certain message, a certain feel, a certain professional feel. Right. Maybe liven it up. Again, there's a lot of messaging DHS needs to put out there. Different messaging. The good cop, bad cop, and then some neutral stuff. Again, the civil affairs teams, the cyber war teams, the social media teams. Because again, why fight something that we, why try to muscle something that we could massage with psychology? Well, again, the idea of having like if you go to Truth has it. Somebody's on Truth that's doing all that stuff. I can see that. Right, it's got a certain feel to it, a certain color, certain pizzazz. Right. So you kind of bring that over to X. Right. Especially since I thought of Truth, it's my idea. I just have no idea how you don't give me anything. Now, it may be meant as a deception to make me believe that there's a direct link between myself and others. So I don't know. But I am the guy that thought of Truth, and I'm thought of conservative news agencies. Well, call that guy for the armored airboats. Stay peaceful. Praise God.